Hello, lost souls. My name is Nyla, and I will be your guide through the abyss. Today, I've made a deck with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards for some ancestral wisdom. Right? We're going to ask the ancestors for a bit of wisdom today. See what the ancestors have to say. I'm also going to be using Wisdom of the Oracle. I'm going to be using that deck as well to add a bit of clarity to these cards. So let's get into the reading, right? We invite our ancestors to share their wisdom with us at this moment. We invite all ancestral spirits and beings into this space, into this reading. Sorry, that was a if you were able to hear that, that was a notification from my tablet over there. Anyway, we invite the ancestors into this reading at this time to shed their knowledge, to share their knowledge with us, so that we may become enlightened as they were. Thank you and blessed be. Let's see what the ancestors have in store for us. They have to say. What the ancestors will take us. What conversations will we get into? So many possibilities. So many possibilities. Alright. I'm going to draw two cards. That's what Spirit is telling me. We're going to draw two cards from the Yu-Gi-Oh deck. And then we're going to go to Wisdom of the Oracle, shuffle this deck, and we will pull a clarity card. A clarity card. Or, yeah, a clarity card. No, Spirit says we're going to draw an action card. Right. Okay. I hear you loud and clear. We will draw an action card from this deck. So we're going to have the reading and discussion about what our ancestors want to speak about. And then we're going to see what actions we will take with this wisdom, with the wisdom they will be giving us. Which works for me. That works perfectly fine for me, right? Alright. We have the our action card here. So let's get into first two cards. Ooh. So we have the Oracle. We have a ancestral Oracle spirit coming in to speak today. We also have shaman spirit coming in to speak for us today. So, um, I'm going to I think I'm going to split the deck and the Yu-Gi-Oh deck and draw one more card since we have two spirits coming in here and we don't really have any more information? Ooh, okay. So, we have the Shard of Greed. So, that's what these the spirits are coming in to talk about today. Some of you out there might be being a little greedy. You might have a little bit of greed out there. You might be being greedy about um certain things in your life. Uh, you know, you might be holding your uh your spiritual gifts back uh from people. You might be harboring your gifts for yourself and not sharing your wisdom with other people. You could be greedy with your money. I know there are a lot of penny pinchers out there. Um, and with the oracle and the shaman coming in, I believe they're telling you to to not be so tight knit with your spiritual gifts and your money and with the things that you own, right? Um, and try not to what am I trying? What am I thinking of? What's the right words? Try not to hoard so much stuff, right? Try not to be a hoarder. Try not to have more than you need, right? You can be greedy by buying more things, buying a lot of things that you don't need, right? Um, we can see a lot of stuff, you know, when we go shopping that our mind instantly locks onto it and thinks, "Ooh, I need that." But do you? But spirit, your ancestors are telling you to stop and think about: do you really need that, or are you desiring that? Can it wait? Right? You know, what could you be investing your money, your time into eh, better than, just that thing that you see um sitting there that you're uh desiring to have because, it's something that you wanted for a while or whatever it is, what could you better be putting yet that um your time and your investments into in order to live your best life, right? To be the best, to be your best self, right? To um to to cut off the ego, to cut off the false self, to keep yourself from falling into the matrix of consumerism, right? And just buying the first thing that buying the first shiny thing that your mind latches onto. I know that a lot of us are very guilty of that. We see the things that we see the thing that we want, and our mind just grabs onto it and refuses to let go of it. Right? It won't let us see that we don't really need it. Our mind will start to gravitate towards the mindset of I need this right now because I have the money for it, or I need this right now because um you know it might not be here later, and then you buy it, and then you never actually use it because you really didn't need it, you know and then you miss out on the thing that comes in later that's even better than the thing you think you need right now, right? Because that's usually what happens, you know? You buy it, you never use it, and then something even better comes along later, and now you're just, you've got a bunch of clutter that you're not using, and new things can't come in because your life is too cluttered. You've got too much stuff. You can't accept new things, right? And that's that greed, that's the greed, the deep seated greed within the mind and in the ego that really keeps us from receiving our gifts and receiving our ancestral gifts, right? We can our lives can be so cluttered that our ancestors are trying to give us a spiritual gift and we can't receive it because we just got too much stuff. We've already got too much stuff. So it does the mind and the spirit good to not give in to the greed, that little shard of greed in the back of our mind that just wants to go, 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 and to buy and to grab whatever it sees whenever it sees it because you have the money or because you have the resources to have it, and then it just becomes clutter, right? So yeah, let's get into the action card for today. And we have community, right? That's a good one. Community is very important. That's definitely something we could put our time into, um, rather than you know constantly um, being in this greed state of mind of needing and wanting things that we don't really need and want. We can invest our time, our resources, and our spirit into the community that we build around us. Right? We could help other people. We can you know, teach other people the way that I'm doing, teaching right now, what I'm doing right now, right? Um, Teaching and helping people come into the awakening, come into knowledge of the ego and knowledge of the false self and knowledge of the divine beings that we really are. Um, Becoming one with each other, investing all of our time and money and resources into just, helping the world come into awakening, come into being one with one another, come into united peace, right? Come into divine peace with one another, rather than just being caught up in this greedy consumerism mind state that society and the matrix has us stuck in right now, right? And I know it's really difficult, because you see this stuff everywhere. It's in commercials. It's on YouTube. YouTube has AdSense and all of that stuff. YouTubers have sponsors, and there's also videos on YouTube about uh uh what's it called? Oh shoot, what is it? What is it? What is it? Um Reviews. There's YouTube reviews where they review a bunch of products, right? And you see it all the time, and we're just cluttered with this constant greedy egoic um need to accumulate a bunch of stuff. It's everywhere, and that's what the matrix that's what the ma- that's one big part of the matrix, to keep you in the false self, to keep you in the ego, is to keep your mind um focused on things that don't serve it, that aren't serving you, that aren't serving your highest calling and your highest self, to keep you in this state of needing things um that are pointless or useless to you that you're going to use, once or twice. You might use it for a couple of years and then it's gone, right? And it's no longer useful to you. And what we should be focusing on is are the things that, are going to last a lifetime, that are going to last us, um, until we um uh, return to source and then choose whether or not we want to come back to Earth, right? Um, to to put our resources into community and to, like I said before, into helping others come into knowledge of the true self, right? But anyway, let's look this card up in the book and see what it has to say. Uh, right. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Belonging, being seen and understood by others, like minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. The Oracle's message. There's that Oracle spirit, right? This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures and we need to know we are useful to our families and communities. In a community, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are or in a learning community where you share your love of education, regardless of its form or focus. Your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the group, your presence is needed. And that's absolutely true. We all need one another. Um we all need each other to help the earth and help the world come into awakening, come into the realization that we are all one being, that we are not separate, and we can all um live peacefully together because we are not separate from one another. We do not have any real differences. The differences that we have are just, superficial. We create these differences in our mind, but in reality our spirit is no different from any other person. We're all divine beings. We all come from source energy. We all come from the one, the I am, right? We all come from God, whatever you want to call it. Um, yeah, yeah. I think, uh, well, um, yeah. There's another message for this card. It's the protection message, and I'm going to read this out because I think it's kind of important. Beware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in the group? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within a larger whole? This will never fulfill you. Now is the time to assess your willingness to be real, stand tall, be you. Authenticity is true expression, and the only way to empower yourself to be a and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Step into the role your heart tells you to take. Making yourself small bears Is making yourself small bears too high a cost. No, making yourself small bears too high a cost, which is absolutely true. Even in your community, um, whether you're its leader or whether you're just participating, if your community doesn't accept you for you, then you should probably be looking for, another community. Because being your truest self is how we help other people to become their truest self, to awaken into their highest calling and bring them to the knowledge of oneness, bring them to the knowledge of their divine being, right? That's how we bring them all together. That's how we bring them into divine peace with one another. If you're in a community and you're not being 100% yourself, or you don't feel like you can be 100% yourself, then that community is not a community that is fully awakened. They're still stuck in the ego. They're still stuck in the false self. They're they're still stuck in the lower vibrations of the universe. They're still they're still sleeping. Um, and I don't want to create an us versus them type of thing. Them being in lower vibration is not a bad thing, right? They're just where we were a long time ago before we had our awakening. We were there. We were all there, and we were and when we go back to source and we reincarnate back to earth if we so choose to, we're going to be back in that same unconscious state until we realize ourselves again. However many lifetimes that takes. You know, and whatever experiences we've chosen to have in that lifetime, right? So it really is just a thing of um, be yourself regardless of what everyone else thinks. Um, And if you're excluded from your group because they don't like the real you, then that group, that community was never really your soul community. It was never really a community for you. That wasn't your real soul family. That wasn't, it just wasn't for you. And it can be hard to accept that, especially if you have friends and family in that specific community or group who um, are not going to be accepting of you leaving that community or group. I know that, when it comes to religion, there's a lot of, if somebody leaves, uh, they get, they pretty much get exiled from, friends and family and things like that. But you have to go and you have to find yourself. You have to go and find the real you. You have to go down the path of accepting that those people are just asleep. They're asleep. They don't realize what they're doing. They are not really themselves. They're trapped within the matrix. They're trapped within the ego. They're trapped in the false self. So they're not really trying to hurt you. They're not trying to be hurtful. They're not trying to be, abusive or emotionally stunting. They're just asleep. They don't realize the things that they're doing to other people by, rejecting them the way that they do. So don't take it personally. Don't take it to heart. They're doing what, they're going through the process of um they're going through their process of awakening slowly. Everyone's going through the process of awakening in their own way. They just don't realize it. They're not aware of their process of awakening until they figure it out for themselves. until their mind becomes one with their truest self, they will not realize that they're going through the awakening process in an unconscious state, right? Uh, they're not aware that they're in the dark night of the soul, that they're going through, what the universe has given them, what path they have chosen for themselves when they chose to come here. They're not aware of the truth of their very being. They're not aware of the oneness of everything. And they may not realize that in this lifetime at all. It may take them several lifetimes to figure that out. But if you're here and you're going through your awakening process, and you're conscious of your higher self, you're conscious of the oneness, you're conscious of the true self, um then you're gonna have to find a community that understands and supports you the way that you are, the way that you truly are. And and it's not as difficult as it sounds. There's a lot of us out there now, and we're growing rapidly. Every day there's a new person going through an awakening. Every day there's a new person who's going through a dark night of the soul, who needs somebody who needs another awakened person to lean on, another shoulder to cry on. um you know so there's people out there for you, and you can find them. It's just going to take some effort, right? It's going to take a lot of effort to do that. um but when you put in the but what once you put in the effort, and you find that community, and you find that space that you've been looking for, and you leave the greed behind, um you'll come into being, you'll come into peace with yourself. You will come into understanding of the true self, and of the true path, the true path, your path. And then when you understand the true path, you can then transcend the path and start creating your own path. And that's another video that I did a while back, that where we talk about transcending the true path, transcending the path. But yeah, um, I think that's gonna be it. That will be it for today's reading. Um, I think we took a deep dive into some good stuff. We got some good insight from our ancestors, and from ancestral spirits, the oracle and the shaman, right? Um, so if you did like this video, please leave a like. Um, if um, leave a comment down below. Let me know your opinion. Let me know your opinions. Tell me your stories about you know, what communities you've had to let go of in order to find your true soul family, right? Tell me your stories. I hope this video has earned your subscription, and yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.